Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna get rid of this waste here. do not love that edge, I'll tell you. Maybe deep enough. Not on that side. I do wonder if that will be off center with my other mortise. We'll see. It's going to be tricky. This is the vertical post. Other is the horizontal. I'll probably have to test it. Be sure. As I see it. This is going to be up above. Like this. Might have to look at it on. Huh. It's tricky. I am at an impasse where I think I need to check whether this joint is going to work. Ouch. Just gave myself a splinter. See whether this joint is going to work. I really shouldn't even be doing that. I got enough out of there. I got to set it up to see if I've got this brace housing on the right side. Well, welcome to Tufik Dia. Shout out. Welcome to you. Thanks for saying something in the chat. Well, I'm unfortunately have to set this back up and break it down again to see whether I got the brace pocket on the right side. So I guess you all can just hang out with me while I do that. I'm gonna set you up way back here. Probably lose some viewers, but that's okay. This is gonna be tricky. That was bad. That was just my sharp chisel. That's what happens whenever I start moving around stuff like this. This is not a pain. And unfortunately, it's because I didn't really calculate which side of the beam my housing was going to be on. If I cut it, I could cut it wrong and ruin the whole beam, and I can't do that. So this is the troubles of this, and if I do this due diligence, hopefully it'll result in me not making a mistake. I don't gain anything, but I don't lose anything, really. This stresses these beams a bit here, so on brace A. Is right here. And actually, I gotta loosen it to fit brace A in also. So. Just about there. That's brace A sitting in there loose with no pegs in it. It's pretty tight too once this thing is all the way together. All right, next brace. So looks like a ½ inch away from scribe tool in my square. That looks like a ½ inch off. It does look like it'll work. Okay. That's really good. We're gonna get that done. We're gonna get her done. Thank you for being here to Dad's workshop. This is tricky right here. So all I got to do is cut that more just to be sure. All I got to do is cut that more. It's exactly where I have it marked. And it should be correct. As long as it's a ½ inch off this side. Make a little mark. I'll just check that ½ inch side. Everything should come in straight after that. Alright, so let's take it back apart. Take this peg out. Not ideal, but it happens. This is the tricky part, keeping this beam up so I don't break any of these tenons. Can leave that post in. There's something that's wrong with it. Tire length is not marked out here. I'll cut too much off. Heather, I'm out of pencils out here. Is there another pencil in there? Where are all my pencils went? One more. Tricky with these Forstner bits, but you want to get as possible. I'll bring you back over for the close-up. Kidnapping you and taking you over to now. I dropped my small chisel on the floor, so I'm not sure that edge is going to be sharp anymore. I'm going to have to rely somewhat on this one. Hey, Robert G, welcome. Friend of the show, Robert G. This cut line is a little wider on my tenon, so I'm going to not worry too much about being a little beyond that line. Probably that was a bad cut there, but I'm going to move the mic down here. Hopefully there's not too much shaking, but I hit it with my hand and I don't want to mess up the sound quality. Y'all seen how clean that's coming out? Very, very clean. If your chisels are sharp, you can get those 45s really nice. I got to go down about another 1/4 of an inch. But I got my angle set. I want this corner to be crisp down here, so I'm actually going to come straight down into that. Oops, I didn't get that straight. Straight enough. We'll figure that out. Looks like I got a little bit of a knot down here. Man, that's awful close. I've cut a few of these now, so I'm starting to get a feeling for when they're almost done. probably a little bit. Make sure you close your eyes when you do that. I don't know which side I used before, so I guess that doesn't matter. It's a little shy of the sizing needed, at least on that tenon. And that's going to be the tenon, I think. So either I got to work this tenon, which looks like it's been cut pretty much to size, or I got to work the mortise, which is what I'm going to do. I'm kind of surprised it got small for that. I don't know where my other brace is. I want to check it against my other brace too. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. Join the Discord if you have comments about woodwork, even if you want to correct me, you got some, I always am willing to be corrected. No one loves to be corrected that much, so be nice as you can. But if you got stuff you want to say, yes, August, we are building bunk beds with traditional joinery. We're trying to build these bunk beds with no nails, no screws, no staples, no metal fasteners. Just wood. That's the goal here. There is a big knot on the right side of this mortise that I could see being a problem going forward. I believe I have heard that, but appreciate it. Yes, August. Appreciate the input. I'm trying to carve this mortise out. Well, I should call this a brace pocket because it's not a mortise, it's a brace pocket. But I guess it's type of mortise, so if I use that word, Don't hold it against me. It's technically a brace pocket. This brace pocket, I'm trying to carve out the sides of it without accidentally carving too much out and ending up pushing the brace in a direction. That's what happens with this. It gets very tricky dealing with all these different angles. Let's give it a shot. Well, that's real tight right now. It's fitting, but it's tighter than I want. So it's still pretty tight. I don't know if I think maybe this is the horizontal tie beam. So actually, I think this is coming down like this. In which case, that tenon actually does fit better. It's still tight though. Getting into the major leagues here, man. There's no more playing around. You start cutting these brace pockets. It gets deadly serious. We, of course, appreciate the work of Roy Underhill here very much. No. I'm sure there are many in the audience who need inspiration. I love how that feels like it just wants to sit in there tight. Feel a little bit of pressure on that wood, so I'm gonna take it out a little bit more. Oh yeah, and that shoulder's not even close, so that tenon may be too big. Now we got to get that shoulder all the way down. This one looks like it needs some material taken off of it. So I'll work on, let me check my other tendons. I got a couple other tendons over here. This one's less carved than that one. I just felt like I dug that one all the way out. Like I don't want to dig too much into there. It's still about the same. It just takes a little time. We're gonna oil it, I think, stain it, or potentially use that Japanese wood burn thing. We haven't decided yet. Like I'm looking at this brace, and that brace needs work on it too. I might put this up and just work on the brace for a minute, because I don't want to cut that pocket any deeper. I don't think. I would love to leave the wood natural because I like it like that, But I think once you sand it down and stuff, you start to envision it with some sort of finish on it, you know. Good question. I want to do tung oil and linseed oil and tung oil, potentially. Thanks. Yeah, I like to think so. I think it would look really good with either the shoshukiban or whatever they call that, Japanese wood burning. We can figure that out, or we can. Oh, what's up, Ruiz? It has been a long time. Welcome back, friend of the show, Ruiz. Also, August. Glad to have August in here. Great contributions he's made today to the chat. Yeah, I'm psyched about that too. I have to get a torch, and then, you know, some of this is spruce, so there's no guarantee that it won't set on fire if you're not careful. I think this brace pocket's ready. I think the brace needs to be worked on. So I'm gonna put this beam back up. Yep, bunk bed. That's right. This is one of my pegs here. Actually, I don't know if I can do that yet. Let me get this. This one, which I don't know what I do with that. Oh, there's brace one. I got brace one here. Yeah, I've been working hard at it, man. This is a brace pocket one, brace one. Tricky thing about this is now that the poles don't want to meet, it's pushing it outward. Brace one. Thanks, Ruiz. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it, August. Appreciate all y'all who are regulars and who show up and are complimentary and positive. You don't have to always tell lies and be complimentary if you don't like something, but to be positive with somebody is really important, and I appreciate that very much. I know for some of you this style is probably new or unfamiliar, but this is the way buildings were built for a long, long time. This was the only way to build. So this is gonna get pegged into place too. This, I gotta figure out why this tenon doesn't want to go through further here. And I'm gonna check this other brace here. I guess I gotta take this one apart too to do that. Hi, Abdullah. Abdullah, I'm sure. Appreciate you being here, man. So the housing here is okay as long as I take this down here. I'm gonna have to pare that tenon a bit. But you can kind of see what it's supposed to look like here with these two corner braces. Well, this is for older kids. So when I'm building this, I'm building it so it could like withstand an earthquake. So that's the idea here. Oh man, I appreciate that. Appreciate that, Ruiz. I take that as a great compliment. And this is the way the old cathedrals and churches were built. They built their stone framework and then they built their timber frames within those. You know, that's how all the great buildings of all the world, of the Arab world, of the Asian world, the only places they did not have timber frames were places where they did not have timber. And that's basically in the outback of Australia and in the Arctic tundra. I'm proud of what we've done here, you know, because we've taken no plans and we've constructed a vent for a timber frame bunk bed. I got to work that tenon a bit and do the other side. I probably have to remake those two posts over there. But let me tell you what my vision is while I got this thing kind of set up. This is going to be where the top kid sleeps. There's going to be recesses, housing cut in here where boards are going to go knock in all the way across. Boom, boom, boom. Same thing over here with braces. We're going to have a board going across. I need a longer board to kind of help you envision this. I don't really have a long board on hand that I won't flip around and hurt somebody, but there's going to be a bridle joint, which is going to fit over the top of both of these sides and bind these sides and keep them at distance. And then the bed will essentially be so reinforced, so much redundance that it'll be hard to take down. It'll be something that lasts. And I'm going to go through and sand everything and get all the rough edges off and all of that too. Yeah, that's the idea, man. We're trying to take you along. And we've got every hour of this basically, you know, give or take a few. Every hour of this process is documented on my YouTube. So people want to see what I went through. The only thing you're going to miss is some of the mistakes I made off camera that cost me a lot of time that were very frustrating. So some mistakes I made when I was making duplicate pieces, like I didn't cut every post on live because people would get tired of that. So I changed up and did the post off of live. But I made some mistakes and ended up having to recut posts and buy more lumber. So that was tricky, and annoying. So from now on, I'm gonna probably do most of it on my live. That keeps me a little bit accountable, and it kind of makes it go slower. So that's what we got right now. And believe it or not, you know, that has taken this amount of time to get all of these joints cut. You see just the wood on the floor there. If I took you outside, there's another mountain of wood chips from all of the chiseling that's gone on to get all these joints cut like they are. And I appreciate everybody here tonight very much for being here with me for this. Right here on these, if you can see this right here on these tenons, there'll have to be a hole cut just like there's the bottom. I'm going to make a cherry pin to go through here. These will have dowels in them when we finish that will go through the tenon part of the brace. You can already see it's even with no nothing in there. There's no racking, so you can't really rack this thing either way now. And that's a huge deal with engineering these things. Huge deal. I'm super satisfied. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's going to get there. And to anyone who thinks this is the same thing as taking some wood and nailing it up and making a deck, it is not the same thing. So get that out of your head. Appreciate it, August. Lumber is expensive. I don't get the most expensive lumber. I buy cheaper lumber and laminate it to fit the sizing needs I need, you know, because the wood we have here in the US is so good. Even the stuff we source from Germany and Sweden and stuff like that, the spruce, it's really good wood. We have decent wood here. You got plenty of wood that you can use that's not expensive. I don't recommend any novice or intermediary woodworker buying solid oak, buying solid cherry, solid walnut. I made that mistake when I first started, and I wasted a ton of money on walnut, and a ton of beautiful walnut that should have been used for better projects was wasted. Yeah, I've been believe it or not, I was a classroom teacher for 17 years, so that's what I did. But yeah, the wood chips on the floor there are that's just like a third of the pile. That's all from carving. Not carving, you know, chiseling. All of the pairing that I've done of the wood has resulted in all of that. Just think of every one of these joints here. I'm removing, you know, essentially this much material from each one of these joints by hand with a chisel. Sometimes I use a saw to help guide me with pilot cuts. But you have a lot of wood there, especially when the surface area is exposed. When you start chiseling stuff away and sawing stuff away and breaking out stuff to surface area, you realize this wood is very compact. Wood is a really strong natural substance, and the fibers are very close together. And so it's compact itself for us so that we can use it. It's an evolutionary gift to us. If you believe in God, you say it's a God's gift to us, right? Because it provides us with a rigid, durable, and versatile building material. I really like yellow pine when it's flawless. Like if I'm gonna build a frame, I want yellow pine. But my favorite wood to work with is gonna be black walnut. I don't know if I'll ever own enough black walnut to build unless I get my own sawmill, you know, and then I'll do it like that. I'm gonna work on this little tenon for a couple minutes here, and then probably wrap it up there. Let me grab this tenon. from inside this frame. Whoops, I heard that. Everyday thing in here. Yeah. Yeah, every chisel, and yesterday I did some chisel sharpening because it was just about that time, you know. I'm gonna work these a little bit more here. They were a little bit tight in those pockets. Got to be careful when you trim these though, pare them away. If you take too much away, it's going to bend the angle of the brace in your pocket. So your brace pocket might not be aligned anymore. That's why I'm real hesitant to do any of this, but it has to be done. Oh, good. I'm glad I did that, man. I don't want to leave anybody in the dark. Switch it over and take a look at the other tenon. learn these things and I repeat them, but always make sure your clamp is all the way unscrewed when you clamp. It will not bite the way you want if it doesn't. See, I just caught myself in the finger with just the edge of my chisel. Oh, I wish y'all could smell that. It's like a resin pocket up here in the top of this thing. Not loving that. No, I didn't mill this wood myself. If I did, I would usually make sure the wood was dried before I even used it. There is, when you build a house, timber frame, often you're building it with newly milled lumber. And so there is a point where you do have to account for the drying of the timbers. So the best way to build a timber frame house is with already cured lumber. But yes, many times that's not possible because the wood is milled right on site. But this wood is already dry. Yeah. I think this one, I mean, other than this tenon being a little long, I always cut them a little bit long. Crust that end grain a little bit, but that's because there is a resin spot here on the end. It's kind of, they act like knots a bit. This is a high point right there, and I'm trying to get that without chipping more of that resiny wood out. Yeah, usually it's often with large timber frames that the beams are cut custom, and that means that yard, because no lumber yards even cure wood and logs. It's very difficult to lumber. You have to mill wood then cure it, and sometimes in that process you lose some because it's no longer good. It bends, it curves, it bows, it cups, it twists. And so you really want that to all happen before you work a piece of wood. That's the idea. Hopefully it is back. I'm gonna check this piece here. This is not going to sit in place. I'm going to have to put a pin through this mortise here. Otherwise, this won't be pushed in place. There's still some trimming that could be done to that. But y'all get the idea. That's the idea right there. And that's the other. Boom. And you see all them joints, man, all cut and carved, and there's not a nail in this thing. No screws. I have clamps holding things up, but no clamps are holding stuff together right now. I appreciate everybody here. Appreciate Ruiz and Robert. Didn't see New Beginnings pop in. Welcome, New Beginnings Woodworks, friend of the show, also member of the Discord. I'm not on the Discord right now. Somebody's, I'm sure, saying something on there. Join the Discord. Subscribe to the channel. We're doing big things around here. Learning to build things. Yeah, shout out August also. Sure, August is a subscriber. August, Ruiz, New Beginnings Woodworks. All, thank you all so much for coming. New friend Abdullah El Yusufi, out from all the way from Germany. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody being here today. It's Wednesday. I don't know. I've been doing Thursdays, but I'm always here Monday through Wednesday. Robert also, I did say cheers to Robert. Appreciate everybody being here. All friends of the show, love you all very much. Make sure if you're not subscribed and like, make sure you click that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Smash it. And I'll see you all again next time.